Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your scientific inhalations triple filtered bubbler and the Dabx. Did I say a few diamonds as well? Hello, everybody. Today is Saturday. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join the Senior Stoner family. Thanks for joining me. A like is always appreciated, and I respond to all comments personally. Let's get started with today's topic. How many of you out there have health that is less than ideal? How many of you out there have chronic pain and chronic illnesses? Well, you know what? We've got to find ways to make peace with the chronic pain and illness. That's right. We have to. There's got to be a better way for us to deal with these things. Let's discuss. Blaming yourself for what's happened to our bodies is misguided because pain and illness are part of life. So, once you understand that everyone faces health challenges at some point, you're going to stop blaming yourself. And that's critical. I stopped blaming myself for becoming critically ill, having chronic pain. I let go of some of the self-blame and the tremendous guilt I felt. And you know what it was? It was like popping out of the water. It was like a tremendous burden was lifted because I no longer had to feel like life was, unfair, and that I had been singled out. You see, it is hard enough to handle day-to-day challenges of anybody's pain or illness, but when you add self-blame to that equation, the mental suffering multiplies multiple times over and over. And you know what? This type of mental suffering you can do something about. We need to be honest with ourselves about our condition. Everyone is subject to illness and injury. It's a condition of being alive. Being alive is a gift, and it means you want to find ways to live a rich and fulfilling life within your limitations. Now, there's no way around the fact that a chronic illness or chronic pain can drastically limit what you can do, but it's not your fault. Accepting that life is uncertain and unpredictable is the first step to making peace with our circumstances. If we had control over our lives, we'd make sure all the experiences were pleasant ones. But the fact is, more often than not, we don't get what we want. And at first blush, it sounds like a dark view of the world. But it's not to me. Because I'd rather know what to expect than to live in ignorance and be continuously disappointed when things don't turn out the way I wish they had. You see, accepting that life is uncertain and unpredictable, and that one consequence of this is that you will not get your way, opens the door to living with equanimity. Equanimity. It's calm and balanced state of mind when you're able to accept with grace whatever comes your way. It is a tall order, but the path to peace, personal peace, path is the operative word. Most people are not equanimous, but they're committed to the path. You see, it's natural to feel lonely when you suddenly become isolated. Many of us have been forced to give up active work and social lives for relative isolation. Such a drastic change can be traumatic and bring on a loneliness like people have never felt before. Take it from me. With time and an effective set of practices, though, you can turn that loneliness into a feeling of peaceful solitude most of the time. That said, there's nothing wrong with feeling lonely at times. Of course, I still do. When loneliness plays a visit, maybe treat it as it's if an old, uninvited friend and do something soothing till it passes. If at all possible, you want to connect with as many people as you can on the internet. Think about the last century. Think about letter writing, telephone, in-person visits. You can send videos. You can do a FaceTime. You can do a Skype. The internet has allowed us to put our fingertips on whatever situation we want to at that moment, instantaneously. We need to learn to pace ourselves, and that might be one of the best treatments out there for what we're dealing with. Pacing is so important. It's how you integrate pacing into everyday life that's critical. It's a skill, and it remains an incredible treatment for what ails you. So as you move forward and you learn to deal with these situations that have befallen you, you want to learn to be happy for others. That's right. Learning to be happy for others makes limitations bearable, and it can make you happy too. You see, if the idea of feeling happy for others who are out and about, having a good time, sounds foreign to you, it's not a surprise. Think about it. We need to start being happy for those people who are happy, if that makes any sense. We want to bring to mind someone who's happy about something that you don't crave. Winning a sporting event would be a good example. As you think about that person's joy, try to feel happy for him or her. And once you're able to do it, move from there to feeling happy when they're joyful about something else. And on and on. And then the challenge gets a little tougher, and it takes some practice for the feeling of happy to come when someone's doing something you wish you could, but can't anymore because of the limitations imposed by your health. What do you think of that? There's so much that you're going to deal with. There's going to be envy. There's going to be resentment. That's right. People have human emotions. So what's going to happen with practice is you'll eliminate those two feelings, the envy and the resentment, and instead you'll be able to see other people have joy, and it will drag and draw you into the joy. You want to make self-compassion your first priority. This is the critical one. The most common thing I think that people have been talking about is a way to ease the mental suffering that comes with chronic pain. A lot of people don't think they're deserving of their own kindness, but there's a valid reason for that. People have been unkind to themselves. They've been harsh to themselves and tough on themselves. Now it's time to learn from those mistakes. That's right. Learn and move on. We now need to find ways to not get stuck in the negative self-judgment about what you couldn't do, about what was said. It's hard enough to struggle with health every day. We don't need to force self-criticism into the discussion as well. Remember, we have to become comfortable and have to find a way to make peace with our health and our pain. This has been the Real Senior Stoner, talking about making peace with ourselves and the things that have befallen us health-wise. We're going to take a nice sativa dab in our Dabx, and I'm going to have to put a lot in because I've been told I didn't put enough in to my bucket, and that's why it got discolored. So load the puppy up. I'm loading it up right now. I might turn this into a hybrid day. I might, in addition to putting these sativa diamonds, why not? Why don't I go over and grab a little bit of that indica diamond as well? So we're going to make this into a bit of a hybrid here. own formula. Senior Stoner Hybrid. Here we go. Double click. Let's get a 5-click on first. One, two, three, four, 5. Let's see if it'll do. Hang on, 1 second. Maybe it needs charging. I just loaded it up with all the good stuff too. Well, you know what you do in this situation. You take out the Dabx, cover it up, get it ready for a charge, move from Dabx over to the wand. Let's flip on the wand and have a dab. Hope you will enjoy the video. This is an example of being flexible. No matter what hits you, got to be able to deal with it. No charge on the Dabx. Move over to the wand. Here we go. The wand is on. Carb cap in. Here we go. Thanks for the patience and understanding. We'll have this charged in a jiffy. The truth of the matter is, I threw the battery in by mistake to the ISO, and I'm hoping it's going to dry out. Cheers. Boy, this is tasty. Thanks for joining me today. Remember, always make peace with your health situation and your pain. This is the Real Senior Stoner. Cheers.